Well, I was molested for 8 years, which kind of stinked, but, and I was also raped last summer.
When I found out that Allison had been molested and raped, which totally blew my mind because we were very close and I did not have a clue, and it was happening right next door.
I didn't really know how to deal with it because I coped with it really bad. I didn't know what to do. I was confused, and so I went to drugs, and my life went downhill. Family Nurturing Center helped by teaching me ways to cope in healthy ways and to basically be open about it.
Family Nurturing Center is a nonprofit agency that's dedicated to ending the cycle of child abuse. So we have a whole range of education, prevention, and treatment programs that provide services to children and families. I think one of the awesome things about Family Nurturing Center is that we really have that whole continuum. So we do prevention programs. We go out into the schools and teach kids ways to recognize, resist, and report child abuse. We teach adults directly because really protecting children is an adult's responsibility. So we have a program that is geared specifically toward adults. We do speaking engagements and different things in the community to raise awareness and educate people. But we also do treatment programs. So while our goal was certainly prevention, the reality is that there are millions of people out there in the world that are walking around that are already impacted by abuse. So being able to provide those very skilled, very intentional, and trauma-focused therapies to help children and parents and families recover from the trauma of abuse is a really significant service that we offer.
I had never met my son. His mom didn't want me in his life. And then I found out about him when he was 3. And when he was 9, she had changed her mind and she wanted to get together and move down to Kentucky. Right away things were weird. I mean, I went from nothing to all of a sudden I have this 8-year-old kid. And I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how to handle discipline. I didn't know how to handle just talking to him, hanging out with him. And she was all about hitting him and screaming at him, and that's the only way he listens. And so, okay, well, you know what you're doing, I'll follow along. And I pretty much took direction, never felt right, and my son was always afraid of me. If he'd mess up or I'd just look at him, he'd kind of shrug his shoulders and act like a dog that was going to get hit. One of the things I learned is that it's never okay to hit. It's the easy way out. And I think it hit home that even though they're kids, they really do understand if you talk to them and have conversations with them. And that was a huge change in my house.
We provide services for parents who have lost custody because of abuse or neglect allegations. And so for most of them, they're only seeing their children 2 hours a week in a very closed-in setting here. We were able to put in a playground for our families to use. So for part of their visitation time, they get to go outside. And one of the facilitators came back to me and said, I talked to Mrs. So-and-so, and she said, that would be wonderful. I have never been outside with my daughter. My daughter was removed from me at birth, and I never got to take her home from the hospital. Her daughter's 2.5. And so she said to be outside and play with my daughter and to have this normal experience with her is going to be such a such a huge gift to us. And the mother was crying. And of course, the facilitator was crying, because I think so many times we forget that our families aren't getting to have those normal day-to-day experiences that so many of us take for granted.
We companion individuals who are referred to us by the child welfare system. So all of our clients have open cases for child neglect and abuse. And so what we do when we receive referrals, we identify what's going on within their case and why their case is open. And we try to walk with them and support them in learning how to be the best parent they can be. And we do our best to help them sort of clear up the problems that resulted in them coming here in the first place.